Today I thought about two friends. One had lost a lot of weight over the pandemic, the other gained. Let me be clear, this is not a blog about gaining or losing weight. What I am interested in is exploring weight in emotional terms. We're all feeling it 2 years after the pandemic, and I'd like to talk about that a little bit. Part of what's happening, I think, is our difficulty with handling hard emotions. I think sometimes what happens is we focus on avoiding or numbing that feeling, those hard feelings that make us feel out of control. So we find ways to feel more in control. And that can take the shape of overeating, undereating, drinking too much, taking drugs. These are all ways that we try to cope with handling difficult, albeit negative is really what I mean, emotions. So what can we do about it? How can we find alternatives to this to find our way back? I have 6 ideas that I'd like to share with you. The first one is familiar to you. It's about the body. Remember that the vagus nerve runs from the gut to the brain, and it informs the brain. So when we talk about gut reactions or butterflies in the stomach, this is not metaphorical. This is physical. Listening to your body and what it has to tell you helps you find ways to feel more safe. Because to be clear, handling these difficult emotions can only happen when we feel safe emotionally. 2, remember that we don't need to accept binary thinking, the either or that we've talked about before. One technique I've used is from improv. It's called yes and. So the next time you catch yourself in binary thinking, try instead to say yes and. You'll be surprised where that can take you. 3rd, consider talking to a safe friend about what's going on so that you can gain some clarity while releasing judgment towards yourself, towards others, and towards the pandemic itself. 4, for those of you who are not interested or uncomfortable sharing with others, try journaling. It's something that's worked for me. There's something about the act of getting it out of my head and onto a piece of paper that is very cleansing, releasing, and feels safe because it's written down in my own journal. 5, pray. Pray for guidance. Hand over your cares to something or someone greater than yourself. It is so relieving to be able to do so. And finally, remember that you are loved, that you belong. You are part of this human race and you belong to this community. It's easy to forget that 2 years into the pandemic because of our forced isolation, but I highlight that to you as a reminder. Slowly and stealthily, we are coming back from the pandemic. And I know that once we love ourselves, real change happens. So I hope this blog gives you some ideas on ways that you can feel emotionally safe and come back and not let the pandemic get the upper hand.